Ethan barely slept that night. Every time he closed his eyes, memories of Emma filled his mind. Their first meeting, their first date, their first promise. And now, after 3 long years, he was finally going to see her again. The next day felt endless. The clock moved painfully slowly. Ethan tried working, but he couldn't focus. His thoughts were trapped in the past. What was Emma's secret? Why had she disappeared? Why did her messages sound so sad? Most importantly, why had she contacted him now? As the day passed, his anxiety grew stronger. Finally, evening arrived. At exactly 6:15 p.m., Ethan left his apartment. The city was covered in golden sunset light. Cars moved through crowded streets. People laughed and talked, but Ethan noticed none of it. His entire world was focused on one destination: Riverside Park. When he arrived, the park was quiet. A cool breeze moved through the trees. Leaves danced across the walking paths. The river reflected the fading colors of the sunset. Ethan checked his watch. 6:55 p.m. 5 minutes early. His heart pounded. Every woman who walked by made him look twice. Was it Emma? No, not her. More minutes passed. Then, at exactly 7 p.m., Ethan saw a figure standing near the river. A woman wearing a long gray coat. Her hair moved gently in the wind. She was looking at the water. Ethan froze. Even from a distance, he recognized her. Emma. His Emma. After 3 years. His legs felt weak. Slowly, he walked toward her. Each step felt unreal. When he finally stood a few feet away, Emma turned around. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Time seemed to stop. Emma looked older. Not much. Just enough to show that life had not been easy. Her beautiful blue eyes were still the same. But there was sadness in them. A sadness Ethan had never seen before. Tears filled Emma's eyes. Ethan, hearing his name from her lips again, nearly broke his heart. Emma, he whispered. For several seconds, they simply stared at each other. Then Emma smiled softly, a smile filled with both happiness and pain. You look good, she said. Ethan laughed nervously. I could say the same. Neither knew what to say next. 3 years of silence stood between them. 3 years of unanswered questions. Finally, Ethan spoke. Why did you leave? Emma lowered her eyes. The smile disappeared. The sadness returned. It's complicated. Then explain it. She looked away toward the river. For a long moment, she said nothing. Then she quietly replied, I wanted to protect you. Ethan frowned. Protect me from what? Emma took a deep breath. The truth. The truth about what? Her eyes filled with tears. Ethan, the day I left wasn't my choice. His heart skipped a beat. What do you mean? Emma looked at him. Fear appeared in her eyes. The kind of fear that comes from carrying a painful secret for too long. My family wasn't the only reason I moved away. Ethan felt a chill. What else happened? Emma opened her mouth, then suddenly stopped, as if she couldn't force the words out. Ethan stepped closer. Emma, please. Tears rolled down her cheeks. I was diagnosed with a serious illness. The world seemed to freeze. Ethan stared at her. What? She nodded slowly. I found out just before I left. Ethan couldn't believe what he was hearing. All these years, all these questions, all this pain, and she had been suffering alone. Why didn't you tell me? He asked. His voice cracked. Emma looked away. Because I knew what you would do. What? You would stay. Of course I would. She smiled sadly. Exactly. Ethan's chest tightened. You should have let me decide. I didn't want your life destroyed because of me. Destroyed? How could loving her destroy his life? Before Ethan could answer, Emma reached into her coat pocket. She pulled out a small envelope. It looked old. Very old. The edges were worn. The paper slightly faded. She handed it to him. Ethan looked at it. What is this? Emma's voice trembled. A letter. A letter. She nodded. I wrote it 3 years ago. Ethan stared at the envelope. His name was written on the front. In Emma's handwriting. The same handwriting he had once loved seeing in every message. Why are you giving it to me now? Emma looked toward the darkening sky. Because it's time. Ethan felt fear growing inside him. Nothing about this felt normal. Nothing. What's inside? Emma hesitated. Then she answered quietly. The truth. A cold breeze passed through the park. The river rippled under the moonlight. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then Ethan looked up. Emma, what aren't you telling me? A tear slid down her cheek. She looked directly into his eyes. And whispered the words he never expected to hear. Because I don't have much time left. Ethan's heart stopped. The envelope nearly slipped from his hands. No, this couldn't be happening. Not after finding her again. Not after waiting 3 years. But the fear in Emma's eyes told him one terrible thing. She was telling the truth. To be continued.